Today we're going to talk about how to have that tough conversation about finances with your significant other. Good afternoon. Welcome to Money Talk Mondays. I'm your host, Cherry Dale, and it's brought to you by Virginia Credit Union. We have a special guest with us today, Chris Woodbury.
Hello, everyone.
Chris has been with the credit union for over 20 years in a lot of different roles, and we're so excited to add his expertise to our topic today. So we are discussing how to talk to your partner about money. Having that financial conversation with your significant other. It can be a little daunting and overwhelming, regardless of where you are in your relationship. And where have you seen this be so important in your own life with your own, you've been married quite a while. And so with your own wife, what has the process been and what are some advantages of having this conversation early on?
You know, Cherry, I've been married 23 years, and we initially started off, my wife and I, when we decided to get married, I had to change a little bit because my wife was a saver and me, I was a spender. I like spending that money. And
so you had different money personalities. And I do say oftentimes we attract to the opposite of who we are with our spending habits as well. So it's important to have it early on because finances is one of the things that couples do tend to argue about, especially as they progress in a relationship. So if I'm just starting off with someone and we're dating casually, but I'd like to get to know them better and I really want to bring up this conversation about money, what is the best way to do that?
You know, that's a good question because it's tough to bring that conversation up, but I always tell people this, try this. Ask your significant other, what do they like spending money on? What's their hobby? What brings a smile to their face when they spend money? So that's a safe way to do it. And they may think that you're thinking about buying a gift for them. So again, it's a smart way to do it, safe way to do it, and you can start that conversation and start to kind of figure out what their financial habits are.
Yeah, so if there's somebody who really likes to go out and spend money socializing, you'll know that, or perhaps they're a gifter. They like to give gifts to other people or travel or things like that. And then you can compare that, I guess, with your own personality going forward as well. And also, I think savings, if your wife was a saver and you were the spender originally, truly understanding why it's important for your significant other to save money because it's connected to some security and peace of mind probably for that person and those future financial goals as well. So really understanding the money personality starting off is important. So let's say we're progressing in a relationship, we're getting serious, we want to get married or we want to move in together. What are some things that I need to know about my partner and how do I even bring that up? I mean, it's really difficult, isn't it?
So now we're progressing forward in the relationship and we're deciding to bring two lives together. So now here come the tough questions. You have to ask those tough questions. And one of the first questions you have to ask, hey, what is your credit score? You know, what's your debt load? Do you have a savings account? Do you have a savings balance? Because again, we're combining two lives. And so if we're combining two lives, that means we're bringing our personal lives together, but we're also bringing our financial lives together. So you have to ask those tough questions.
Yeah, and I think it's better to do that before you get married.
Absolutely.
So you absolutely know what each other's bringing to the table.
Absolutely.
And really, as you're having those conversations, it's really important to not to put the emotions out of it as well, because you're vulnerable when it comes to your finances. It's a vulnerable space, especially if you're dealing with debt and you don't have great credit. You've got to allow your partner to trust you in the fact that with this information.
Absolutely.
So if they're presenting some information that you might be caught off guard, I would encourage everyone to, just take a step back emotionally if they need to and think through it and work through it together, because it can change over time. Your credit can change over time. Your debt load can go down. And if you get somebody on the same page working together toward a common goal, you're going to get out of debt faster and your credit's going to improve. So it's not like you're stuck in this situation forever. But if you have a partner to help you, it's even better. So we've had that debt conversation and credit. What are some other things that we need to be discussing as we're moving forward as a couple?
So now as we're moving forward as a couple, then we start thinking about those big ticket items. Are we going to have a big wedding? Do we plan on having kids right away? Are we going to move? Are we going to live in an apartment initially? Are we going to buy a house? These are big ticket items and big things we have to think about and plan for. You know, one of the basic fundamentals I tell any couple when they get together is establish a budget. That's the fundamental block of good financial health. So we establish that budget, get our plan together, and then we can start moving forward.
Yeah. So you also want to think about how you're managing your money. So whether it's together, like how do you and your wife do it, or separate?
You know, a lot of couples, my wife and I, we manage it together. So we have one account, all of our money goes in that account. But I have some friends where they have separate individual accounts, but then they also have a household account. My wife always tells me, you know, her money is her money and my money is her money. I'm okay with that.
Okay, well that's good.
That's a happy household.
Yeah, so regardless of what you do, it's key to communicate,
Absolutely.
I think, but then hold each other accountable. And, you know, if you do have separate accounts, that's where you really do have to do follow up, because if you have a joint account, you can kind of see what each other's doing. But if you have separate, you've got to have that conversation and make sure you're keeping each other on the same track.
Absolutely.
So long term, let's say we've been together a long time, we want to think, you know, 15, 20 years from now, what are some things that we need to be discussing?
So we start thinking about long term. Now we've got the kids almost out of school, and then we have to start thinking about ourselves, because at some point we have to think about retirement. We don't want to work forever, so we have to put those plans in place as well for our future down the road. So we want to look at bringing in a financial advisor in to help us. So whether that's retirement, estate planning, or insurance, make sure we have enough insurance coverage. The idea is we want to make sure that we're taken care of and our spouse is taken care of.
Right, right. And especially if there's one particular person that's the breadwinner versus maybe there's someone staying at home watching the kids or whatnot. You really want to make sure that everyone's protected just in case something were to happen, which is a hard conversation to have.
Yes.
But it's a must to make sure that your family's well taken care of. So, well, thank you, Chris, for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
I'm glad to be
here. I
here.
hope this was helpful to our audience. In a couple of weeks, we'll be coming back for Money Talk Mondays, and it's all about credit. So we'll talk about what comprises your credit score, how you can boost your credit score. So I hope you'll join us. Until then, manage your money well.